Good morning, everyone. Another beautiful day in Boulder, Colorado. Right, the pinnacle of the world. You know, most people don't know this, but this is where the Garden of Eden actually was. In Boulder. Yeah. So anyway, is there anybody here from another Unity? Raise your hand if you are. Is there anybody here for the first time? If you're here for the first time, keep your hand up high so our ushers can give you a gift. Keep your hand up. There's somebody over there. Our ushers are coming down to give you a gift. All right? Are there any extraterrestrials here? Okay. You're going to enjoy this talk coming up your way. Look forward to it.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. Those of you who are here with us in person, and those of you who are joining us online, thanks for spending some time with Unity of Boulder here. My name is Mike Shadle. I'm the administrator here at Unity of Boulder, and one of the things I do here is I deal with rentals. If people want to rent our space, we rent out pretty much every room in this building. If you have any events, a concert you want to do in this room, a party you want to have over in Fellowship Hall, we're actually having a quinceañera rental this Saturday. Anything you want to rent for, please just call the office, ask for Mike, and we can discuss how that works. It's just a great way to just kind of raise some extra funds for Unity of Boulder while you get to have a good time having an event. Upcoming stuff here at Unity of Boulder, September 22nd and 23rd, right here in this room, on this stage, we are having Sonatum Carr, who is a world-famous spiritual singer, and she's having 2 concerts. You can get the tickets from our website. They are almost sold out, so if you are interested, please go. I would check on that today. But we haven't had her here in quite a while, but we're very excited. This Tuesday, Santisha is going to restart her Prosperity Secrets. What?
A week from Tuesday.
Oh, sorry. A week from Tuesday. So, thank you. A week from this Tuesday, Santisha is going to be restarting her Prosperity Secrets of the Ages class. And this is the class that she is the most passionate about, she's the most knowledgeable about. This is a class on bringing prosperity into your life, and that could be money, companionship, a loved one, all types of different prosperity. It's a 5-week class that runs Tuesday nights, 6:30 to 8:30. It's $100 for the whole class, and you can sign up for that in the bookstore, online, over the phone. We also have the book in stock by Catherine Ponder. It's $16 in the bookstore. So definitely check that out. If you have any questions, ask any one of us on the staff. Following today's service, we are having a volunteer fair over in Fellowship Hall, and what that means is we have a bunch of different tables set up where you can learn about the different areas and opportunities to volunteer here at Unity of Boulder and help this center grow. We can't do it alone. We need the community's help. So please go stop on in there and find out different things that, whatever talent you have. I'm sure we have a spot we could plug you in at and give you something to help out here and help out your center here. And there's also pizza, so there's that. If that's not enough reason to go. Let's see. So over the summer, we always have our Wednesday night meditation service with Jack and Norma. Over the summer, we moved it to 6 o'clock just to try it out for the summer months, but we're going to move it back starting this week, this Wednesday evening, to 7 p.m., and it'll just be ongoing at 7 p.m. each week, each Wednesday night. So just so if you are going to those services, make sure you know not to come an hour early. And last but not least, we are starting a new thing this Friday called our Healing Arts Fridays. And we are going to have different natural healers come in, and you can, from noon to 3 every Friday, and it'll be in the bookstore in our, right over here in our store, and you can drop in for it, but if you want one-on-one time with that week's particular healer, please call ahead and we could set you up with some one-on-one time while they're here. And like I said, you don't have to sign up for it. It is drop-in. It doesn't cost anything, but we do take an offering for that. So, all right. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. That was so enthusiastic. That just made my day. I love it. All right, this is our moment in our service where we're calling for prayer. We're going to put energy out there for prayer for people that might be struggling right now in life or just dealing with some difficult situations. And we're also allowed to pray for ourselves during this time. There's prayer sheets in front of you, and you're welcome to write their names down. You don't have to write down what is the situation that they're facing. We know God already knows what we need before we ask. And really, us doing this practice is really us aligning with this spiritual energy that heals everything when we realize the power that lives within us and our intention and our vision towards our lives. And so Steve will walk down as we're singing and collecting your sheets, going down this aisle, and then he'll put them in our prayer box. They'll be prayed over for 30 days here at Unity, and then they will go on to Silent Unity in Missouri and be prayed over for another 30 days. So we invite you to join us. They say to sing is to pray twice, so join us.
You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you. Now you know the song. Sing it with us. You are the air I breathe. You are the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful
And so it is.
All right, now I'd like to welcome today's musical guest. Today we have a longtime member of Unity's choir over here, Andrew Nehemias, and he's going to be on the piano today, and he's going to be playing with his partner, Leah Knudsen, on the violin. But also, Andrew's going to be hosting with his band called Olds Cool Rock. They're going to be having today in Fellowship Hall from 2 to 5. They're going to be playing a concert. It's a benefit concert to raise some money for the fires in Lahaina in Maui. So please come out to that. It's 2 o'clock today. And while they're playing, we're also going to be showing a video on the screen of all the fun we had last week with our Sunday school and our staff and volunteers. So check that out as well. All right, Leah, Andrew, take it away.
that was such a holy way to start. That's a song we sang for years, back when we had hymnals that we'd turn to the page and sing along. Things have changed through the years. We've had a change with times, but to be able to listen to a song that is a closer walk with Thee, with Spirit, with God as source. That was all the pictures we took last Sunday after all the volunteers that came out to get this place ready to welcome back a lot of children back to our Sunday school, new faces, new friends to join our community. And we just wanted to share with all of you that weren't here last Sunday to add on unto that we just keep building and building and showing what a beautiful community this is, and all the love that's put into keeping these doors open and sharing this love with all of you, and you all being here is for us to receive that love as well. So today, my talk title is, It's Time to Hit the Refresh Button. I wrote this sermon after having quite a day on Wednesday. I usually write on Thursdays, but I usually have some of it started, and my week just got away from me. It was just one of those weeks you're just barely you're just coming up short a little bit everywhere. And it was like, okay, now I have to focus on what am I going to write about this week? And I kind of saw that processing thing that happens when the computer freezes. That thing that's just going around, that it's frozen right now. And that's how I felt sitting there. So I decided to say, it's time to hit the refresh button. And I wrote this. When you're sitting at a computer screen and it's frozen with that little round thing spinning called a spinning weight cursor, which I just learned about, and we hit the refresh button, most times it warns us that we're going to lose some progress in a program or lose a website if we choose to continue with the refresh. And we have to consider if we can live without the thing it says it's going to lose or delete before we hit refresh. Sometimes we can be in the same place mentally, physically, spiritually, where things can feel frozen or running out of control, and our thoughts are like the spinning weight cursor, where we don't know what we can get rid of to make room for the inner system to start working again, freely, effortlessly, beautifully, peacefully. Sometimes it's really important to wait, be with, allow the present moment to just be. Being means stopping all of it, allowing for something new to appear in heart and mind, exploring something else in this moment, breathing, breathing, breathing. And what it got me to start thinking about was this idea of peace surpassing the understanding. That's the wording that Unity uses a lot. Peace that surpasses the understanding. How do we find that peace when we're in that spinning wheel that feels that there's just too much coming at us, and we're meditating, we're doing our walks in nature, getting our feet, we're earthing, we're holding our crystals, we're staying gentle and softening into life, and still this cursor keeps appearing that's showing us that we're taking on more than what a spiritual being can in a human world. Because the human world is pushing us to keep signed up with it. That's the human doing instead of the human being, right? And I'm just as guilty as anybody else, because I have a hard time putting that boundary of no, I think I'm Superman and I can keep doing it all, but then I'm sitting there with the thing going, how do we, move through? What can we get rid of? What can I allow to be deleted to find that effortlessness, that engagement, that excitement, that feeling that I want to keep going and find excitement about it, right? And if we're feeling dulled down because the world has found its way into the cracks and crevices of our experience, then I realized while I was sitting there on Thursday, I've stopped dreaming. I haven't been sitting and just fantasizing about what if. What could I manifest that's different in my life? Yes, I have beautiful kids, I have a beautiful marriage, I have a beautiful home, I have a beautiful life. But you can have all those things and you stay so busy you don't get to appreciate, right? That balance between work and life. And I started thinking about dreams, dreams that I used to have about my life. And it certainly wasn't to be working this hard, right? But I have to have faith in this energy that we call God's source spirit to take some of this off of me. And a lot of us all have to do that, because the consistent thing I'm getting in counseling is that we're all being pushed to the edge of how much we're taking on. And losing the presence of why we are here. We are supposed to be exploring, enjoying, discovering. It doesn't matter how old we are. We are allowed to play still. We're allowed to belly laugh still. We are allowed to be stupid still. We're allowed to be crazy still, right? And it got me thinking about the prosperity class that I'm about to start teaching, because that's really what the class is about. When have you taken 5 weeks out for in the end it's like 10 hours, where you've really contemplated what you really want? What you really want, right? We're just in that human doings, we're just putting out fires, or we're getting things completed, and we give ourselves an attaboy that we're getting it all completed, but are we happy? Are we filled with love and joy, right? So one of the things I teach in this class, which is not giving anything away, because there's a lot that you will get, is to do something you used to do as a kid, and you haven't touched it anymore. It could be riding a bike. It could be throwing a football with a friend. It could be watching Saturday cartoons. It could be whatever it was that just was, you were excited as a little kid to go do, dancing, playing a sport, just hanging with a friend, having a glass of wine with a friend, like whatever that is, but something that you haven't given yourself in a really long time, because you've made a story that that's not part of you anymore, or you forgot that you used to be a really joyful little child that had dreams and used to look at the world. Everything was at your fingertips. It was like everything you could think of, you could have. At least our parents told us that. Yeah, right? Exactly. So, and we had moments where we did. We'd think and have these things we could miraculously appear out of thin air, right? But then we get stuck in this mind chatter that says we just have to keep pushing ourselves to do things that we might not necessarily like, to have some sort of outcome, to somehow put happiness further and further away from this moment. And when we realize there is no other moment, this is the holy moment, we can take an inventory and go, am I really happy right now? Am I really inspired right now? In Matthew 18, it says it this way: He called a little child to him and placed the child among them, and he said, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." Unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. And we know in unity, we're not looking for some distant heaven. That's not part of this practice. Our practice is about creating heaven in the very midst of us, as Jesus told us we could. We can create heaven in the very midst of us. So if that's not happening right now, we have to figure out what we can get off of the plate, off of the list of things that we're doing that is pushing off this delayed moment of gratitude and awe and beauty that only Spirit wants us to have every moment, every second, every minute of every day. So another way to get into this childlike wonder is to get into a learning zone. Getting out of our comfort zone and getting into a learning zone. What is something you've always been curious about? What is something that you'd really like to change in your life? If you'd like to have more money, or you'd like to have more intuition, or you would like to have more second sight, or you'd like to have more vivid dreams, or you would like to have, all of that's open to you. Maybe it's time to take a class. Go and get some instruction. You can take them in here. We've got conscious communication if you're not communicating well with people. We've got a prosperity class that's going to cover all those things I just talked about. Intuition is the main thing, is following your guts. This never lies, right? there's so many avenues for you to be turned back onto the road that you are seeking, and it just takes just a tuning of a string. Sometimes we just think it's got to be this massive mountain we have to overcome, and it's like, I don't know if I'm ready to take that on to get to my peace. And that's all mental. That's all made up. It can be a simple shift. It's just a simple shift of, I'm going to say yes to me. I'm going to say yes to these things that I'm desiring in me, and I keep putting them off because somebody says I shouldn't, or a partner keeps getting in the way, or I have these kids, I'll do it after the kids get older. We have all of these kind of like timelines. Then I will give myself my life, and I will give it to myself abundantly. So getting in that learning mode. And then next, it's about dreaming. Dreaming again. When you think about dreaming, I'm not talking about just sleep dreaming. I'm just talking about daydreaming. You know, when you look at something, you know, every once in a while you get a little spark, if you get a little excitement, you get a little memory of something that you really love, and we're like, oh, that was a really great moment, but we don't try to vibrationally connect with it and think of what was in that little spark of happiness I just felt. What was it in that makes me feel hope and excited for life again, right? I had that happen after I wrote the sermon. I was watching a show. It's called Down with Love, and it's these people with Down syndrome finding love, and it's a super beautiful show. It's just beautiful. Loved it. But I don't remember what country it's taking place in, but at one point there was this neighborhood that just reminded me of Italy and being in Italy last year for 10 days. And it just hit me like I can't explain. And I stopped the show and I sat with, what was that feeling? What was that excitement that I just felt? And I remembered what I got from Italy and that I forgot so quickly was the balance between work and family. They work and then it's family. Everything is about getting the work done, and then it's about the love and the food and the time and the pleasure of being with your parents and being with your grandkids and being with your children, and it's a celebration of life. And it's so palpable, and you're there. It takes a few days to soften into the mode that they move in, the mode that they express in. There's no hurry. Do you feel that? There's no hurry. But here, the second you start getting on the planes, they're getting closer and closer to America. It's like, and enjoy it. Put a smile on your face, even though it sucks. I have a friend that's in town from Australia. Is it slower than here? Is it slower there than here? Oh, yeah. And why do you think she moved away? One of my good buddies. I'd rather have her here, but I understand. I might go there. So, if we find ourselves stuck in this kind of roller coaster, this like hamster wheel, and where the mind chatter just keeps talking us into denying the very core of our soul, the very core of our heart that's saying, I know there's something more. I know there's so much more light. I know there's so much more joy. I know there's so much more to experience. That's a great time to start writing when you're in this dream mode. You give yourself 2 minutes a day, just 2 minutes. Sitting down and letting spirit write through. Don't correct yourself. Let your body start writing, and don't type it. This is a hand thing. This is the brain and the body with a hand, with a pen. And just start writing what you want. Don't talk about what you don't want, what you want, what you want, what you want, what you want, with your relationship, with your work, with your kids, with your... And leave it. And watch how you start realizing that you're actually changing your mind. You're not stuck on the hamster wheel. You're stepping out of it, saying, no more. You're taking a moment to recreate this mind, which we know our thoughts are the most powerful powerful thing. It's the most powerful manifestor that we are. So when we stay busy in it, we just keep creating more opportunities to be too busy. But when we cut it, we cut that line that keeps us stuck, we cut it and we step out of that circle and we start writing. We start building our dreams. We start creating what it is that we want. We can't manifest what we don't know we want. That's such a huge part of it. Dreaming, becoming like little children once again, right? So many of us have had our nose to the grindstone just to survive this era in the United States. If we're just lower middle class or middle class, we're struggling right now financially. We can barely get by with the gas and the groceries, and every single thing has gotten more expensive. So it's like trying to make ends meet for many of us, including me. It's stressful, right? It's stressful to be in that mode. And so we got to dream bigger. We got to know that this is an abundant universe. This is, the universe is like the ocean, right? You pick up a cup of that, that's us. But the big picture and the knowledge of all of it is that we are that whole entire ocean. Become a part of that and quit being the thing that's stuck in the cup. Realizing that the source, the resource, everything that we ever needed or wanted is there, available to us. So one of the things I've been doing is sitting in meditation, and I see from an ego point of view looking down on my life with no attachments, no emotions, none of the things that keep us kind of stuck in living from a past that keeps driving our life to build the new life. I see the life I have. I don't get emotionally connected to it, but what I look for is where I want to be. What does she look like? What does she feel like? What is she creating? What is this outpicturing that she's going to create? What would she have to be to live this life that she's dreaming of? So that in making it get further and further apart than the life that I already have, the things that are keeping me small and busy and distracted and alone and frustrated and angry. Who is she? Where does she exist in her being? And we figure out where you want to be in relationship to your purpose, to your career, to your health, to your happiness, to your peace. We get a strong hold from merely the only observing side of yourself and getting a grasp of what you need to change, what you want. Like, we have to change things. We can't get to where we want by bringing all the baggage with us, right? This is comfortable, and all the people around us are comfortable. All these things, our careers, everything, it's comfortable. But we try to drag it all to this new life, and you can't. That's the spinning cursor. The spinning cursor is making you bring all the baggage with you. So what can we get rid of to step in to this door that's wide open, saying, come, 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 come. Come to me, you beloved child of God. Come and accept the life that you have always desired. And the only reason why you could desire it is because it's in you. It's already in you. It's birthed in you. And you're frustrated because you're living against the truth of your being and the power that you are. And we got this. Dr. Joe Dispenza says this: you cannot see the way out of a challenge if you are looking at it every day from the same level of mind, emotions, thoughts, and feelings of the past. So it's easy. It's really easy. We just let go of everything that we were, take the stuff we loved, and take it here. The truth is most people just stay stuck in those emotions of the past, and it's why it's so hard to break free into the life we want. And especially when we're mothers, especially when we're married. We have people that are tied to our story, so we don't want to leave them out. We don't want to feel like we have to leave them, but it's not about physically leaving them. It's putting yourself back on the map as a priority to fill your glass. Everybody benefits then. Everybody benefits when we fill this individual glass, right? You have to be willing to completely let go of any form that you have been. If you want your dream to come true, so that you're willing to birth the person that you are becoming, so many have hit their version of rock bottom at this point. The reason why many won't get there is because the doorway that you're trying to walk through, you're trying to bring everybody through that door with you. You're trying to be Rescue 911. And you have to rescue you first. You will be much more valuable to your family and to your community because you are willing to let them go. Go through the door yourself. Teach yourself. Learn yourself. Condition yourself. And then come back and get them. And you will be much more valuable to them then. See, you want to grow, but you also want to stay with everybody's approval. You have to be able to rescue yourself at the risk of people's approval. Facebook is an example of that. We want to be liked. We want the thumbs up all the time. And the goal is to finally have our own approval. When we approve of ourselves, then we're living within the alignment of the gloriousness that God made us, that Spirit made us, right? There's nothing to say sorry for there. And if people don't like it, then they're not meant to be part of this journey that are going to be invited through the door with you when you're ready to invite them back. Oh, I guess I didn't type this in there. Oh! In John 14:27, Jesus says to all of us, "My peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I don't give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." Peace being the key component of this Bible passage. We can never obtain peace in the outer world until we make peace with ourselves. Until we make peace with ourselves. And so that is the goal. That's why we can't try to pull everybody into that door that God's pulling us into this new life, into this valley of expression and gorgeousness and light and love and healing and all the things we're seeking. We have to say, I got to go take care of this for a minute. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to be against you. None of it. I'm just choosing to step into my divine nature. I got to go be with God for a while. I have to be centered in this divine energy. I'm not willing to live in this rat race anymore. I'm not willing to live in a place where I'm energetically not happy or healthy or stable. I got to go through the door, and it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with how much I love you all. I just got to go love myself for a little while. We've discovered that there is within us a life force that can be quickened into greater activity by thinking. This is written by Charles Fillmore, our co-founder. Everyone has at some time demonstrated that they could overcome the negative condition of weakness by holding the thought of strength. Sometimes the strength follows the thought immediately. Sometimes the thought must be persistently held for days or weeks. In demonstrating the law of ever-present abundance, we should and do expect the same results. If the demonstration seems slow in coming, patience and letting go will win it every time. Again, I was talking about this last week about the power of our thoughts and not being attached to outcomes and knowing that abundance comes from surrender now. It's letting go. We want to bring along the things that are the pillow, that are that cushion, that thing that makes us feel safe, but we don't change and we don't grow when we're not naked to this experience where we are dead honest with ourselves, our mind, body, and spirit, our emotions, our experience with spirit. It is in this place where we have to put everything over there for a while. And to meditate deeply from the ego point of view, what do I have to become to create this life? vibrationally, spiritually, mentally, physically, to attract, to allure, to create this life. Because God's already given us this life. The only person that's left himself out of it is us. We're the ones that get scared. We're the ones that get frightened. We're the ones that make the reasons why we won't walk up through that door that's been open. We're knocking on this door constantly to open and do it the way it used to that made our lives happy, and it just is locked shut. And it's frustrating. But the door over here is wide open. Dare to dream again, for dreaming is the language of your soul. And nothing your soul truly desires could ever be wrong or impossible. You wouldn't be capable of dreaming of it if it wasn't possible. Let's sit with that. Those divine urges, those divine moments when you get that excited feeling like I could have that possibly, and then our mind talks us out of it and we go back to the safety net of how we just stay in the busy and the monkey chatter and all the things that just keep us going. I'm just not going to get that now until the kids leave or until I get the degree or it's all these things that keep our love and our joy and our happiness away from us, and that day's never coming. No matter, even if your kids leave, no matter what, we will keep living the same life until we make a different choice. In Numbers 12:6, he said, "Listen to my words. When there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, reveal myself to them in visions. I speak to them in dreams." You are the prophets of your own life. When you walk through that door, that's you stepping into being the prophet. There's no prophet outside you that's going to teach you how to live this life spiritually. This spiritual life is within you. You are your own divine prophet. You follow the gaze of your inner being, the intuition, your insight, your dreams. You start to follow that without question. Spirit will speak to you in your dreams. Will give you the dreams, will give you the visions of what it is that is being called for this magnificent life that you so desire. I think about dreams and dreams I've had back in the day. I'm going to go over a little bit over because I want to take you on a meditation a little bit, but it's just a funny dream that I had back in the day, probably, 13 years ago, and both my kids were, my second round of kids were under 3 years old, two of them. And I was working full-time here, and I was not taking care of myself at all. I was just doing it all, and I don't know if you've ever had two kids that are under 3 years old, but there is no life, there's no breath, there's no nothing. I wasn't feeling great about myself at that point, and I had this dream that somebody gave me tickets to a Sarah McLachlan concert at Madison Square Gardens in New York, and I was so excited in this dream. And I go through the whole dream, I get to the concert, and I'm just climbing and climbing stairs. It's like I'm climbing. The nosebleed, this theater was like 50 times taller than it actually really is. I'm just climbing, like, where is the seat? Where's the seat? And finally I get to the row, and it's the back wall at the very top. And there's a whole row, and I get to my seat, and my seat is facing the wrong direction. And everybody else is sitting forward. And I don't want to bother anybody, so I sit down in the seat like this to watch the concert. And I woke up and I laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed because I know this universe and I've been on the spiritual path my entire life. And I just thought, I love that the universe is funny, that it's hysterical. I didn't need to break that dream down. What did it mean? That dream was showing me where I was in my own world, where I was putting myself on the list. I wasn't even going to complain about the ticket, that I was going to be sitting backwards through the entire thing. I give that as an example because the universe is always telling us what's needed, what's wanted, what's necessary for every moment. And so I want to take you into a meditation for about 7 minutes, and let's dream for a little while together. So let's close our eyes and just get comfortable. Slowly stretch in your seat, becoming aware of every muscle and joint. And just try to get yourself comfortable in your seat, but also taut so your back is not leaning on the pew. Those are not the greatest conduit for meditation. To engage the core and becoming aware of our breath inward. Now with a... We're going to do that 2 more times. Again. Yawn as much as you can. Feel your body relax. Becoming aware of your breath. Just becoming aware that we get to let go of the world and our lives right now. And letting the stress flow out of your body. Taking in another breath. And now with a... Let your body get comfortable in your seat. Keep breathing. And let's talk about how we are all the dreamers. Dreaming. It's so important that we are designed to do it every single day. Besides the biological house cleaning that occurs, the dream state allows our imagination to run wild. It is from these dreams that we can cultivate our waking reality. In the dream state, you can feel the longings of your soul, hear the calling of your heart. Are your dreams about finding a partner? Are they about prosperity and abundance? Is it about yours or someone else's health? Is it a dream job? What is the big dream that comes to your mind in this moment? And let's take a deep breath in and hold it. And then exhale. What is the dream for your life? What is the dream you want to make come true? Now picture it in your mind's eye, this dream. Realize that Spirit is watching you picture it in your mind. That you're not alone in this dream. The universe is waiting with bated breath to give it to you. By you imagining it becoming real, the mind doesn't know anything different than what you're showing it. It will start manifesting it for you. Because the mind believes your imagination just as much as the facts that you give it. So I'm going to let you sit for a minute and bask in this dream. Keep the body soft and the face soft. Don't resist this vision. Soften into the truth that you are worthy of this dream to come true. What are you willing to let go of to make manifest this dream? And repeat in your mind's eye after me these words. I am the dreamer. I am the dreamer. I am the manifested dream. And take a big deep breath in, and let's move our hands to our heart, which solidifies this vision into our being, into our heart, which is the smartest part of moving into our dreams. Knowing that you're worthy, that you're holy, that you're divine in nature. And that's what this community is about. We're here to keep mirroring to you the beauty that you are so that you may manifest that which you desire. And we are all in this together. And we say, thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. We have no complaints whatsoever. Amen. I just wanted to, before I finish the service, plant the seed about how far we have come in this community since COVID, how much it affected so many of us. And it's left these pieces of shrapnel in our lives. And in this prosperity class, we're going to look upon the things we did learn, the things that we claimed we were going to bring to our lives and start really changing from what we learned from that lack of connection, that lack of community, that lack of all these things. We're going to take these 5 weeks to culminate what we learned, to never bring this forward in our life ever again, and to create the life that we really want now. Because it's different tools, different rules when it comes to the law of attraction. And we're going to practice those. And I guarantee you, if your life does not shift and change in this class, I will return your money, your registration for the class. That's how much I'm sure it will affect and change your life. I also want to remind you, today is the volunteer fair. Every department will be represented in the fellowship hall right after this, covering everything from ushering to kitchen help to prayer partners to working on lighting, working in the media aspect of this, the social media, all the different areas that we need help here. Anything that you actually have as a gift that we might not even be asking, just let us know. We need help. We need that connection. I know many of you noticed that all the volunteers you see serving are the same ones for years. We need fresh energy. They need a break. Please relieve some of these people and start taking on. It's the next generation that has to start taking on these roles and giving back to this center. Even if you're here for a week or you're here for a month, we can always put you to service. And you gain more from service than what you give out. That's the reality. It's like you give 10%, you're going to get 100% back in your life. And I wanted to share this last slide, which is from the book, Prosperity Secrets of the Ages. It says, not that one. The first step in receiving is giving. It is through the law of giving and receiving that we demonstrate prosperity. If you are not receiving the good you feel you should have in life, ask yourself, what should I give? In the revealing word, Charles Fillmore has explained it is necessary to give freely if we are to receive freely. The law of receiving is giving. Prosperity is omnipresent, and you cannot impoverish yourself by giving. Instead, you are enriched by giving, which opens the way for you to receive. And I still have that call to action, which is, this is the call to action today. Please sign up. You can give 1 hour a week, 1 hour a month. You can give 10 hours a week, 10 hours a month. All of it is helpful. And we have the bumper stickers that we said, if everybody could take one of those and put them on your car, if people see them multiple times, they're going to get curious about our center and wonder why We are such a successful, beautiful community that really shares this love with them. So the call to action is, are you committed to start promoting this place that has served you, given you love, given you health, given you all of these things here? To give back to this place is what the call to action is now. Thank you. I love you, bless you, and appreciate you.
I want to say that Charles and Myrtle Fillmore never intended to have a religion or organization. They just had that dream. Like, what would the world look like if everyone lived from the truth of their heart, if everyone knew that in their heart they had all the answers? So today, when you are contributing, you are helping expand that vision even more. So thank you, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, and thank you for being part of this community and part of that dream.
So freely we have been inspired to take to task our own awareness and to bring forth a greater representation of the truth that will in fact make us free. We're on that journey. This is a journey of evolution. And we have this fantastic opportunity to take to heart these truths that are shared here at Unity of Boulder. With that in mind, let's bring into our hands and into our minds that gift we'd like to make to prosper Unity of Boulder. And let's bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. And we have Andrew and his partner share their music with us once again.
We want to let you know that we have prayer partners available to you if you're facing a challenge right now. They're standing up over here with their white shawls on. You can stay seated in your seat at the completion of the service, and they'll come find you and pray with you or take you down to our meditation room and pray with you. And because we're running a little bit late, we want to start our prayer. Let's just circle up around these pews. We're going to hold hands and sing Let There Be Peace on Earth. So that means everybody gets the outskirts of here. You can just start doing the intro until it's time to start. We got this. Okay. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with thee. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. Of God, and we are so grateful. Amen. Amen.